What up, Pittsburgh Steelers fans? Matty P here, live on location at Singapore Zoo. I've been watching the game while I was doing at the zoo on my honeymoon. Wanted to make sure we got you guys a video. We kept them coming. Here we go, 6 takeaways from Steelers beating Vegas Raiders. Number 1, got to give a shout out to Keanu Benson. First sack, stepped in for Cam Haywood. Obviously, with Leal, and you've got Adams in there as well. Adams had that big, almost sack there on Jimmy Garoppolo that really shut down the Vegas defense. But yeah, hats off to Benson. It was funny. The ad break before that, I'd just taken a photo of a lion roaring, and then you had Benson roaring with his first career sack, so that was pretty cool. Takeaway number 2, the defensive backs looked better in this game. Very important to get 3 interceptions against the Vegas Raiders there. Levi Wallace, terrific work from him. And it was kind of pretty cool because on the way here, I'd said to my new wife, like, hey, Patrick Peterson's played pretty crap. I hope I don't throughout the first 2 games. I hope I don't have to do a takeaway show where I have to say that Patrick Peterson is looking past it. Well, he's not. He had that good interception. They had Devontae Adams out there, but the Steelers defense were just shutting them all down. So that was really important. The third thing is the Matt Canada offense. We saw Pat Freiermuth worked in, getting in the TD. We saw a little bit. I'm not sure I'm loving the overall cohesion, and I think Marky D will talk about that on the Steelers Oz channel. The cohesion's still a little bit missing there. You saw that on some plays. You saw that on the 3rd down or 4th down, what it was, where Connor Hayward got the ball and just got absolutely stuffed in the backfield. But then again, you also saw the 4th and 1 sneak with Kenny Pickett, and he got there and they converted that. So that's really important. So you saw a bit more cohesion in the Canada offense. The next takeaway I want to talk about is Kenny Pickett. Now, Kenny Pickett had 16 from 28, I think it was, just checking the box score, for 235 yards, 2 TDs, no interceptions. This was the sort of game he just needed to make sure that there were no interceptions, no turnovers. That allows the Steelers defense to go out there and work. They were the ones that got the turnovers, and that's how you win a game like this. So hats off to Kenny Pickett there for another really good performance. The other thing I want to talk about is the overall run game. We're still not seeing the cohesion in the run game from the Steelers, but at the end of the day, these are hard-fought games. We know from last year, even though it was in the winter time, more in the winter time, we know from last year that when you play the Raiders, it's hard-nosed defense. They've got some great defensive players. You saw the depth in their pass rush. Diablo was a guy in the draft that was a guy I was thinking like maybe 6th, 7th round if he was there, but then they'd already got Herbig, so that didn't make sense. But you saw the depth in that. The other thing too that I think is understated about how the Steelers offense performed in this game, which is a takeaway, is very much around Robert Spillane. We lost one of our starting inside linebackers to the Vegas Raiders last year. That gives them some intelligence going into this game. Even while playbooks can change, you still get that change. You don't get the change in terms of everything changing. And so with Spillane, the Steelers actually went up against an opposition that had an understanding of what the Steelers would try and do. I think I've done the 5 takeaways. But I'm going to do the final takeaway as being, regardless, is being Cole Holcomb. I talked about Cole Holcomb needing to have an all-pro game next week, and last week. I talked about him needing that all-pro game against the Browns for the Steelers to get a win. He played better as the game went on. He looked a lot better this week. He continues to make massive beast tackles. I love it. I want to see the hard-nosed defense, and we are seeing that. And you might think I'm being remiss not to talk about the pass rush. That would be like a 7th takeaway. Pass rush was good. It's got to be good. That's how the Steelers are going to win games. It's also got to be good because of the money the Steelers are investing there. But I want to give credit to the linebackers in this game because they shut down a guy like Josh Jacobs. I know their run offense of the Raiders is still looking a bit off to start the season, but you still got to stop a top player, the leading rusher from last year. But with that, great win from the Steelers to go away to the West Coast where they don't do too well, beat the Vegas Raiders at home in a raucous crowd. Looks so cool to see so many Steelers fans there. And hey, now we move on to next week against Houston, and the Steelers can continue the grind. Could they be 3-1 to start the season? How good would that be, considering what we saw in week 1? As always, go Steelers.